Hello, hello. Welcome to Testimony Tuesday. I am your host, Minister Myra Howard. This month, our focus is mental health awareness. Today, I have a double treat for you. We have a dynamic duo, a husband and wife team that is here and will educate us on the subject of mental health and mental illness. I'm going to bring them on. First, we have Linda Botley White. Linda has her master's degree in counseling from Prairie View A&M University and a bachelor's of science degree in criminal justice from Lamar University. She has more than 21 years of experience as a drug treatment specialist for the Federal Bureau of Prisons and 5 years of experience as a licensed professional counselor. Ms. White is certified in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, trust-based relational intervention, and Sanford Harmony social emotional learning. Linda is currently the substance abuse counseling program coordinator at Lamar State College, Port Arthur, and she is a co-owner of Highview Counseling and Consulting Service. And secondly, we have her husband, Minister Robert White. Robert has a master's degree of counseling from Prairie View A&M University and a bachelor's of science degree in criminal justice from Lamar University. He has more than 12 years experience as a mental health specialist for the federal court. Mr. White has been a licensed chemical dependency counselor for 4 years and has recently added licensed professional counselor associate to his licensing credentials. He is also certified in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, trust-based relational intervention, and in Sanford Harmony social emotional learning. Robert is currently an adjunct professor at Lamar University, Port Arthur, and he is co-owner of Highview Counseling and Consulting Service. So we see that not only in marriage, they are unified, they are one all the way around. So we say, welcome, Mr. and Mrs. White, to Testimony Tuesday. We thank you for saying yes in joining us for our Mental Health Awareness Month. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to you. If there's anything else you want to say before you start. Okay. Well, it looked like we had a little issue. They'll be right back, though. So we are excited to have them too. And I know that you're going to be so blessed. So tonight, when they finish, you are going to be able to know what mental health is. You're going to know what mental illness is. They're going to go over the mental health pyramid. They're going to talk about self-care, and they're going to talk about coping techniques. So, all right. So we are going to turn it back over to them, and they're going to have a document that you're going to be able to see and follow along with them. And if we have time, we're going to be able to ask questions at the end. So feel free to put it in the chat box, and if they have time, they'll address it. If not, they may be able to get it back to you on a one-on-one, okay? So, all right, we're going to turn it back over to Minister and Mrs. White. All right, thank you.
Well, good evening, and thank you, Minister Howard, my cousin and classmate, for inviting us tonight for Testimony Tuesday. the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I know each Tuesday, Minister Howard has had a person on for each Tuesday night. So tonight we want to talk about what is mental health. Mental health is, just like we know that taking care of our physical health is important to keeping our bodies strong and healthy, it's also just as important to take care of our mental health, our mind. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and our social well-being, which means that it impacts our thinking, the way we feel, the way we act, and the way that we behave. It also helps determine how we handle stress, how we manage stress in our lives, relating to others, and what choices we make. When we experience good mental health, positive mental health, it doesn't mean that we are always in a good mood, nor does it prevent the stresses of your life from coming your way. But it does help us cope with them so that we continue to engage productively in our everyday lives.
Right.
So sometimes there's a differentiation of people understanding what mental health is versus what mental illness is.
Right.
If you look at the screen, you'll see some words that pop up out of the screen. You see depression, it just keeps revolving, okay? Conditions, feelings. And we're going to also talk about the stigma of mental illness. But first, I'm going to go into what mental illness is. Mental illness is a condition that affects a person's thinking, feeling, behavior, or mood. These conditions deeply impact day-to-day living and may also affect the ability to relate to others. If you have, or if you think you might have a mental illness, the first thing you must need to know, and we put this in bold or we put this highlighted on purpose because it means that you are not alone. And we want to reiterate that you are not alone. Mental health conditions are far more common than you think, mainly because people don't like or they're afraid to, they're timid. Again, talking about it, the stigma about it. However, surprisingly, 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness each year. 1 in 20 U.S. adults experience serious mental illness each year. 1 in 6 U.S. youth aged 6 through 17 experience a mental health disorder each year. 50% of all lifetime mental illness begins by the age of 14. We're talking middle school. Wow. And 75% by the age of 24 are young adults. A mental health condition isn't the result of one event. Research suggests that multiple linking is a cause of mental illness. It could be genetic, it could be your environment. Believe it or not, it could be your lifestyle that influences whether someone develops a mental health condition. A stressful job, your home life, the situations that you encounter that come up on you, it makes some people more susceptible. And more importantly, any traumatic life event. It could be a divorce or caring for your elderly parents, or you have a sick child. There's many events that can occur that was a traumatic event that you weren't able to work through. And lastly, biochemical processes and circuits and basic brain structure may also play a role. And that's basically the reaction of how something living responds in your everyday lifestyle, your reaction of how it takes place within your everyday living.
Let me add a little something to that. Okay. Just to kind of add to it is that there's a large number of people in our community today who suffer mental health conditions due to substance abuse and what we call that drug-induced mental health. Okay. And we see that We see that a lot. We see that a lot, especially in areas of towns where you may see people just hanging out on the street corners and it appears that they're talking to themselves. A lot of that is caused or due to some form of mental health that was introduced to their body due to substance abuse. And if you would have taken a research of those people, you would find that a large majority of those people wasn't born with a mental health condition.
Okay.
It evolved due to the environmental influence of the substance abuse. So we want to also look at that as a part of how we get to this point of mental health and mental conditions. And we're going to break that down a little bit further when we get later on into the presentation.
Okay. Okay.
And well, we're kind of there. I jumped in because what we're looking at here is you see is a mental health pyramid. And what this is going to do is going to break up and help you differentiate between the different levels of mental health. And the problem that we have in many communities is that we group everyone into the same category. And that's what causes some people to have develop this stigma to say that I don't want to be known as a person with a mental health condition or issue, because we have grouped it all in, and we always refer to the worst case scenario when we group it in. But as we look at the pyramid, and if anybody knows, and most people knows, that the base of the pyramid is where the strength is, but in this case, it's where the majority of the people are in our community. So as we look at this pyramid, mental health, we see the bottom part of it. It says no distress, no problems, or disorder. And as you can notice, it is the largest part of that pyramid. So what that tells us is, in our community, the largest majority of the people falls into this category.
Okay, excuse me. Sorry to break in for a minute, but I don't think the document is showing. So if you could share it with us, where we can see it as well.
Okay.
Because right now we're not able to see it.
Okay.
So we'll see if we can share it so we can follow along with you.
Okay.
Sorry.
And if you can't, I'm going to try to make it as vivid as I can in describing it, that you guys are actually able to visualize it yourself. Yeah. Because and while she's trying to get it up, I'm going to continue to talk about it.
Okay.
So just imagine a pyramid. The pyramid is the triangle. Well, it's shaped. It comes down. Mm-hmm. Okay. The bottom rung of that pyramid, there is a section. And what we're saying is that at the bottom of that pyramid, as it spreads out at the bottom, that is where the majority of the people in our communities are. And that area is considered no distress, problems, or disorder. So what that means is that is prototypical normal people, as we would say. That's where the normal people who are able to adjust and move through life. Now, the next step to this pyramid is called mental distress, as we're moving up towards the top. The mental distress part of that is everyday stressors. And what I mean by everyday stressors, people who fall in this category have everyday stressors. You have a conflict with a friend, and your emotions get involved into that. That's an everyday stressor. You're in college or you're in school, and today is the big exam. Stress is evolving from that. Someone cut you off on the freeway. Stress is involved in that.
Right,
and what that is called, that is a stress response. Your body, based on something new coming up on you, all of a sudden, like, cause your body to respond in a heightened sense. But the mental distress category means that, yes, you are getting aroused to a point that you have a stress response, but you're able to self-regulate and come back to a normal state of emotions and feelings. Mm-hmm. So that is considered mental distress. Now, some people get into mental distress about more things than normal. So
Right.
now they're starting to move up into the pyramid. When we say move up into the pyramid, they're moving up to the next phase of this pyramid, which is called mental health problem. So what that means is mental health problems normally signifies that something serious, a serious event has happened in that person's life. When we say serious events, a loss of your job. When you lose your means of taking care of your family and yourself, it causes stress, a stress response.
Yes.
But the stress
Amen.
response that you get from this is longer lasting. It's longer lasting. It's causing you to have stomach problems. It's causing you to stay up in the middle of the night. It's causing you to worry throughout the day. Divorce. This is a stress event. This is another serious event. The loss of a loved one. All of these are now causing you, if you're having mental health problems, to stay up, to worry, to have this constant nagging, this uncontrollable feeling that you're out of sort. Yeah. So now we're looking at the mental health problem. So now, where you in this category, you're now needing some help to try to teach you or help you learn coping skills on how to self-regulate yourself so that this is not controlling you or making you feel overwhelmed. This is the mental health problem category. Now, the smallest category in this mental health pyramid is at the top.
Yes.
And that is the one that we consider mental disorder or mental illness. Now, again, I started out this conversation that saying that a lot of people stray away from mental health is because everybody want to group themselves or feel like people want to group them in this category. It's not so. It's not that, I can't say it's not that many, but it's not compared to the major number of people. We don't have that grand of a number in this mental health disorder, but there are people. Now, when we talk about mental health disorder, that means, or mental illness, that means they have a clinical diagnosis.
Yes.
They've been diagnosed with a clinical disorder, such as depression or bipolar. These are clinical diagnoses, meaning that there is actually something that's going on with their brain function at this point that's causing them to have these issues.
Yes.
It is a brain issue at this point.
Yes.
And so with that means that at this level, you need a clinical professional to assist you in evolving to be able to maintain and control this. So when we look at mental health pyramid, again, I don't want to overstress this, but we have to stop grouping everybody that has some mental health condition or something going on with them in the top level, because everyone is not there. Now, the thing is with this, on this mental health pyramid, a person can go through each of these levels in a week or in a day, based on the situation. And based on how they handle it will determine how long they stay in each of those levels. And that's why it's very important that when we are in the mental distress, if it's continuing to be consuming, that we reach out and get support so that we can learn those coping skills so that we don't fall into the fall into the mental health problem to where it's long lasting and we really get overwhelmed. And now over time, the brain starts to change because of the environmental things that's going on and other things that may be going on. And we fall into that top level of mental disorder where there's a more critical care that needed to help take care of a person in that area. So I know that you guys may not be able to see the pyramid, and I know that our time is limited. So I want to move from this here because we want to start talking to somewhat about the care. And so we're gonna try to get the next slide up to where it actually talks or show the information about getting into self-care. So as Linda is moving there, and I can't see the screen for you guys. So are y'all able to see the self-care at this point?
We are.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
So we're back on track.
Awesome. So we talked about mental health, what it is, mental illness, what it is, and then the mental health pyramid.
Yes.
Now we want to talk about ways that we can take care of ourselves. Self-care. This is not being selfish, okay? This is an act where you actually want to be physically healthy and mentally healthy because you love yourself and you love the people around you that you want to be around and care for. So if you can't take care of you, you won't be mentally and physically able to take care of someone else. So it's imperative that we utilize and take opportunity for these self-care moments. So I'm going to just kind of briefly read through them due to time. Self-care. Number one, it says it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Focus on what you can control, like your breathing, being in the present moment. And we're going to talk about that. Number two, spend time outside. Due to the pandemic, COVID-19, the social distancing, this past 12, 14 months, now people are moving outside, taking advantage and opportunity of the blessings of nature, spending time outside. Avoid crowds, yes, but be mindful of just spending some time outside. Number three, engaging in mindfulness activities, such as starting a gratitude journal. If you don't have a journal, they're at the dollar store, the cute ones at the dollar store for $1. You go to Dollar Tree. Find something that you like, a flower or a butterfly or your favorite color. Make it personal. Get you a journal. Due to time, you might not be able to write in every day, but spend time. Be intentional about when you do want to write in it. I want to write it on Saturday mornings. I want to write on it Sunday nights. I want to write it on Wednesdays. But make it personal for you and be intentional. Be consistent with it. Even if those who are chefs out there, you love to cook, prepare your favorite meal, for you and your family or your loved ones. Number four, practice self-care in whatever form that looks like to you, which may be including exercising, reading, meditation, and getting adequate sleep. Yes. Now, practicing self-care doesn't say self-harm, like doing, illicit drugs and alcohol or overconsumption of alcohol, but self-care is about being helpful and benefiting your body, okay, your temple. So, and then an adequate sleep. Adults, we need 6 to 7 hours of sleep, okay? We need to get that in each night. Number five, reach out to whomever and whatever helps you. Again, a benefit, okay? Not a negative, a benefit to you holistically. Number six, make a list of your favorite songs, your favorite movies, and share with your friends and have a Zoom party, or now you may be able to meet in a smaller setting with a group of friends. Number seven, challenge those negative belief systems, the beliefs about change. There's an ABC model that we don't have time to go through, but a cognitive behavioral ABC model. A is the activating event, B is the belief, and C is your choices, your consequences behind an event. But the B is most important. The B is your belief systems. It's what you tell yourself about the A, the activating event. It's not the actual event. It's your belief systems behind it will ultimately decide your choice or consequences of how you respond to that activating event based on your belief systems, that B. Number eight, find new ways to connect with your friends. We know that we can do it now. I've seen some innovative ways that people have brought people in relationships and friendships and family time together through these last 14 months. So social distancing should not mean social isolation, okay? Being by yourself, being alone. Number nine, make yourself a space that's comfy and cozy for you. You want to be comfortable and relaxed in your settings. And number 10, you want to set some boundaries, with media consumption. I know we are on Facebook Live now, but even monitor, take a break, take a fast, take time away from social media. Give your mind time to recoup, okay? We're going to move swiftly. I'm sorry, due to time. We want to describe what mindfulness is. So mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's beliefs, thoughts, and bodily sensations used as a therapeutic technique. These are phenomenal. You want to run through these, or you want me to?
We'll
share.
Yeah, we'll just share.
Okay.
As you look at this spear that's on the TV, on the monitor, and the top spear there is self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And what this is saying is maintaining moment by moment awareness of your thoughts and your feelings,
yes,
and the sensations that you're feeling. So what we're asking people to do in mindfulness is just be aware. You know, as you was growing up, your parents say, be aware of your surroundings. This is what mindful is saying, is be aware of what's going on with you.
Right.
Because if you're aware of what's going on with you, then that gives you the power to make the changes that you need to make in any situation. It's when you know what's going on with you. As we move to the left, let's look at emotional balance. Learning how to self-regulate.
yes,
And this goes back to the self-awareness.
yes.
When you feel yourself kind of out of sort, start the self-regulation practices. Start to tell yourself, it's that positive self-talk. What do you tell yourself? You say, I'm gonna go off, and you just let yourself go off? No. When you become self-aware, you say, oh, I feel a going off about to come up, and then you start talking yourself down. Talk yourself off that ledge, because you know nothing good is gonna happen. Nothing good is gonna come out of you going off.
Amen. Amen.
So this is the spirit.
Yes.
Self-awareness, emotional balance. Get yourself balanced, because once you balance, then the room can become balanced.
Yes.
Because now you're aware of what's going on. Then the social awareness. When we look at social work, recognizing socially the cues that's going on around you, that's what's happening around you. So that now you know, hey, this is not a place for me. For my serenity, this is not where I need to be, because socially, this is not a good spot.
Or our behaviors, or the way we respond or react to situations. So under social awareness, one of the key words is empathy.
Yes.
So putting ourselves in wearing someone else's shoes, putting ourselves in someone else's situation. Would you want someone to respond or react that way to you? So that's the big word under social awareness. And then relationship management, that could probably be a whole title all by itself. Whether you're married, you're in a relationship, even family, or just normal everyday friendships. You want to be emotionally mature about the decisions we make. We want to be loving, be present, be kind, be mindful, that self-regulate, so that we can manage our anxiety, our depression, our lows when we feel those emotions. And a lot of people really don't understand how to connect with their emotions and their feelings, because emotions is an adjective. So it describes how we behave.
Yeah. And just before we run off that screen, can we go back to it? I just want to sum it up. We don't want to go there. Okay.
Sorry.
Just because the whole concept here is mindfulness. Let's look at the spirit. Self-awareness. When you become self-aware, then that easily make you better able to be emotionally balanced. Once you become emotionally balanced, then you can go into environments where other people may not be self-aware, but you can have empathy for them, so that you can offer some support even in that point, and you can grow. Now then, look at the relationship management. Now you can control and be able to help regulate relationships. You're not going to be at war with everybody you see. You're not going to be, because you now know that, hey, they got problems, I got problems. We're going to work on our problems together. So we're trying to be mindful.
Yes.
Not mindful, but mindful.
F-U-L, not F-U-L-L.
Yes. And so that's the key. That's the key. Many people we meet today is mindful. And so their
Mhm.
attention and their patience with you is short.
Yes.
But when you are mindful, now you are able to interact with people in an appropriate way.
That's good. That's good.
And we're trying to respect the time of the 30 minutes. So I want to move. And then what happened?
While she's getting there, the music that y'all keep
Okay.
hearing, okay, you got it? Okay. The music that y'all kept hearing is a part of this particular presentation we have, and it talks about being under pressure.
But we just don't have time to
We
share.
don't have time to share that, so I don't want you to think we were just throwing music in there to be throwing music in there, or you thought you was hearing noises. No, it's actually a video that we have. But she wants to do an actual mindful exercise. All right.
Okay. We do apologize for the moving so fast. We want to apologize for the slideshow because it does have 2 videos that we normally include, but due to time, we didn't have time to show you all the video.
So y'all gonna have to come back.
I would like to practice what we've talked about, mindfulness. Mindfulness. So we just 1 minute. You owe yourself 1 minute. Start out with 1 minute. We call it mindfulness moment for 1 minute. And I'm going to use the spirit for practice of those who've never actually practiced the technique of mindfulness. So if you'll just follow my voice, you don't have to close your eyes unless you choose to. But I'm going to start now due to time. And if you can put yourself in a comfortable position, sitting up straight, feet flat on the floor. If you want to take your shoes off, you can take your shoes off. If you want to take your glasses off, you can take your glasses off. And just get relaxed. Get your eyes that are, if you don't want to close your eyes again so you can pay attention, you can get your eyes in just a calm, glazed, kind of a gaze look, a stare, just enough to relax your eyes. And I'm gonna hold it up a little bit more in front of me so you can see. And we're gonna just breathe. We're gonna take the opportunity of being of gratitude and take a breath. So as I move the spirit out, you're gonna breathe in, you're going to inhale for the count of 4, and then you're going to exhale when I close it. So let's try that. So we're gonna inhale to the count of 4. Exhale to the count of 4. Slowly and calmly. We're going to try that again. Inhale. Exhale. You want to breathe from your diaphragm, from your stomach, the lower part of your stomach. We're going to try that again without me talking. Just watch the spirit if your eyes are still open. And when you feel comfortable, try it again with your eyes closed. So here we go. When you breathe out, you're exhaling all that extra air. Just exert it all the way out. Don't hold it. Blow it out. Okay? And at this time, you're thinking about your present moment, just being grateful for the opportunity to take a breath and breathe. Remove anxieties, remove nerves, remove the stressors and the thoughts from the day. Not even what you have to do when you end this meeting. Just right now, being thankful for this present moment. Just let it all go. Just being grateful for this opportunity, this very present moment. We're going to try it one more time. You're welcome to close your eyes. Thank you. At your time, if you had your eyes closed, you can open your eyes. You can slowly start moving around. You can put your glasses back on if you need to. You can put your shoes back on if you need to. But just having that moment of being able to breathe, just grateful for that present moment. And thank you for participating.
Amen. Thank y'all for sharing. This was awesome. Wow. Wow. I really, really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I thank God for you saying yes to him because he was glorified in this. And we are like at that closing time, but I really wanted to bring awareness to mental health. It is Mental Health Month, but I wanted to highlight it mostly because of the stigma that comes along with it. So I guess our closing question: what's up with the stigma behind mental health disorders?
You want?
I'm just going to lean in from a cultural point of view. If we, and I know we probably have more than African Americans online tonight, but I'm going to speak from an African American point of view. I've been working in this type. I've worked in law enforcement for over 31 years, and I noticed in our conversation with a lot of people that had mental health issues, they would get angry if you say, "Hey, you may need to seek some support because it appears that you're having some type of mental crisis," and that would anger them. But as I started to look at my bringing up, I started to remember when someone in our community would have had a mental health issue, they were looked down on. It was like the worst thing that could possibly be said about them. And I think that has carried on for many years in our culture, that the first thing that you say to them, say, "Hey, why don't you seek some support for your issue or that you're going through?" I'm not crazy. It's not a matter of you being crazy. It's a matter of getting assistance with that condition or whatever it is that you're going through. Because as we were talking about that pyramid, each of those levels has therapeutic methods that can be utilized to help you be better. And I think that's if that's kind of helping what you're saying, is that yes, you can get better, but we need to be willing to take the assistance that's available to us. Now, I'm gonna throw a word in there that kind of that's probably gonna make some people offended, but I gotta say it. It's not crazy to get assistance.
Come on.
It's crazy not to get the assistance that's there for you.
Exactly.
So if we want to use crazy in that term, yes. But when we talk about mental illness, it's not about being crazy. It's about something that you can't control. It's because there's a brain issue. Even in the other areas, it's less than. So we need to work on that.
And that's where the misconception comes from, that mental health challenge. And they think what Robert's saying, crazy, but only you think suicide, you think the person is going to actually harm themselves, okay? But really only 26% of adults in America actually suffer from a mental health disorder. So believe it or not, your teachers, your educators, your administrators, your person in the grocery store, the person the teller at the bank, these are common everyday people that we come in contact with them every day that may be suffering through some form of trauma through mental health. And that's that crazy versus I don't want anybody to know my business, what's going on with me. But just like you go to the doctor for women, take a mammogram, you go get a checkup, diabetes, blood pressure, you go to the doctor. This one, you're just going to a different type of doctor to get the help that you need. So that's the big misconception. That's the struggle. So one of the biggest ways to reduce the stigma is just to remind people that mental health and our emotional health is just as important as all those other categories of health. If we could sum that up in the short time.
And it's all about educating people about what's available for them and what's going to help them. And that's what our goal is tonight, is to try to help educate not just African American, all people. Because we all matter in this situation. Because if one person has a mental health illness or disorder, it can impact a whole community. So they are part of our community. Let's wrap our arms around them and get them the help that they need.
Yes. Amen. Amen. Well, thanks again. And we're going to bring this to a close. And just remember, it's okay not to be okay. It is not okay to not get the help that you need when the
That's
help
right.
is available. And remember, you are not alone. And
That's
we
it.
just thank you all for joining us on Testimony Tuesday. And I love y'all.
Love
God
you.
bless y'all. And if you're in the Beaumont area, well, I know now we are doing a lot of
Virtual.
online as
Yes.
well, so you don't have to necessarily go in person, but Higher View Counseling and Consulting Services, if you need it, if you know someone that need it, if you have a loved one that might just need to share a little bit, you can reach out to Linda or you can reach out to me. I'll get you to Linda. We love y'all. God bless you. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bless y'all.